One, two, three.
Morning, guys. Little piece I want to check out today. The red line's where I walked, and the blue are the beds I found. Um, Noticed probably 70 or 80% of the woods I never stepped in. So here we go. There's I'm up on this transition line. There's a really little transition in this piece. You can see from the map. It's very close to easy accessible areas, but it's still, like I said earlier, you got to find them soft transition spots where people don't look. They're in here. You just got to get boots on the ground. You're not going to find them on the aerials. There's a monster trail already along this transition line. Deer poop. No rubs yet, but I just got on the transition. So let's walk this and see what we find. I wanted to point out, if you're looking up in the trees, you can see the transition, how it goes down through there, through the air. You can actually see the transition line, and down through there where I just walked. Just a mental note to keep an eye out for when you look up, staying on the transition. Sometimes it's hard, so keep that in mind when you're going through. Coming down in through this bedding area. I wanted to show you this rub. Just a monster. It's been rubbed year after year. It's about belly high, waist high, probably middle of it. So he's at least 2.5, and it's been rubbed every year. Wow, nice deer. It's probably real nice if he's still alive. So, all right, let's keep going. I'm on this transition line from pines to higher ground. There's oaks. There's like oaks out there. There's lots of holly trees, mature hollies. Right on this tranny line, and just heading down it. There's a couple points and bowls I want to check out down here, and pretty thick along here. So they're going to, it's a lot of briars, so they're going to bed in, just inside here on this edge. So I'm going to head that way, look at a couple points in a bowl down this way and see what we find. I found some beds in here, so I wasn't real impressed, but one buck bed I found in there underneath, and I'm coming along still, and I noticed the rubs like petered out. Now I'm coming up on this point, and they're starting up again big time. There's 1, 2, 3 rubs right here. Rubs going through back in the bedding all along there, but in between the last point and this point we're coming up to, the rubs just stopped, and now once you're coming up on these bedding points, they start up again, like I said. So almost there. Let's see what we got. We got a nice buck running around here too. They're about waist high, between belly and waist. So it's not a bad buck. Lots of tracks. Lots of tracks. So let's see what we got up here. Coming up on this rub, man. White oaks. There's some white oaks right here next to bedding, so this will be good, pretty good. And then you got a point right here. You got rubs all over. And you got that big bad boy. That's a big rub, man. Big rub. Like I said, there's oaks all over in here, but this is food closest to bedding. It's a good for a westerly or northwest wind, or even a northern wind coming along this transition. There's trails coming in and out of this bowl here, and this be a good spot to try. So, never know what you get. You gotta go on it. You gotta get your boots on the ground, man. Aerials don't show you everything. You never see right here from an aerial. You never see this. The only way you get to see this is it's a point with a very soft transition, and guys have taught me it on the beast. That's what you got to look for. So here's one little good spot. I mean, I don't know how much pressure is in here. It looks like there's a lot of pressure, but it'd probably be good early season. So when these acorns are dropping, but this is all private property around that surrounds this. It's probably loaded with bait piles, I'm sure. But who knows, it might work the opposite way, where all these guys that are on the private ground might push them right to this public. I'm sure it works like that in some places. So let's go check this point up here again. I'm in this bowl here. It comes from a hard transition all the way to really short stuff. I guess this would be a soft transition a little bit, and then right out to the hardwoods. So good spot, man. Good bedding spot here. There's a major trail coming through here along this edge. Be a good spot to set up on. It's clear on one side, and then this is what you got in here. Then you got another little soft transition of hollies inside there, so I'm sure there's some bedding up in there too, and then it goes out to here almost like a finger. So it's a good spot. I know there's beds right here. I mean, I don't know when. Just had to throw three sits at it. So early rut, and this be great. I think this here will be really good in the rut. Mid-October until the till shotgun season in where we are, right around the 9th, 10th, 11th, somewhere in there. Shotgun comes in November. So I think you got to get in here early, mid-October, 3rd week October, somewhere in there, all the way through Halloween, and hunt these bucks during the rut when they're cruising. They're cruising east both sides, and on the downwind side, trying to smell these beds for hot does. So that's when you got to kill them. This is that bowl we just went through. There's a big rub right there. I mean, it's not a real big rub, but it's not a bad one. Let's walk up to this other point and see what we find here. There's really heavy rub lines all along this transition again, out of this bowl, going out of the bowl, and up to this point again. So what that tells me is it's rubs associated with bedding, the rubs I want to hunt. So keep that in mind too. Buck bomb, baby. That's the second cane I found of that this year. Buck bomb, buck bomb. I don't use none of that stuff, man. You're hunting beds, you really don't have to. Anything foreign to me is no good. I used to, but I don't know more. I don't use grunts, cans, none of that stuff. Hunt the beds, you don't have to. Sometimes you can use a grunt to call one back if it goes out the wrong spot or something, but I don't. I haven't been probably for a year or so now, but I usually don't. I don't take much in with me, but a couple compasses, a couple flashlights. That's about it, man. My camera, and that's it. But somebody's hunting right here, at least. Probably gun hunters. This place is probably pounded gun hunting. So this is an island of thicket, of just thick that I'm walking around right now, off of the point over that way. Wanted to walk the tranny on. It's not real impressive. Did find a dead buck back over there, and when I go back over there, I'll show you. Well, there's that dead buck I found. He's been there a while, but he's got pretty good mass. It looks like he broke his horns off. Probably fighting or something. Pretty good mass on it. I don't really know how old he is. He's probably 2.5 at least. But 2 broke off horns. I don't know if they don't look like they're chewed off. They might be, but yeah, there's bones all over here. So this deer was shot, and probably going to bedding right in this point here. There's a point of bedding right here. I guarantee that's where he was heading and just couldn't get there. He was probably heading from out there, wherever that is. There's some fields out that way, a long ways away. So probably shot and almost got back to his bed and died right here. Or right here somewhere, and the coyotes drug him somewhere, you know. But points, baby. Points in the big woods. Transition line points. This actually got a little bit of soft point too. Like my buddy was showing me the other day. So not real big, but it's like a little soft briar point where there's a briar patch between the hardwoods and the young pines and all. So good spot, man. Real good spot. So I'm gonna mark it and see what happens. And I'm gonna got 2 more points to check out, and then we're out of this spot. So stay tuned. I just got a phone call. I'm talking on the phone to a buddy of mine, and I heard a sound, and right off this transition line, I was walking and jumped a big deer, big deer. I didn't see his head, but it was a very big body. That's his bed. So I'll mark that, and he's got a really good line going out that way. He actually went through there and went back towards that way into the wind. A lot of times they'll do that if they can. And escape route there. I came from that way. But cool stuff, man. Nice bed. And I know it's using it, because I know he's using it. So it was 1 deer, so I'm kind of thinking it probably was a buck. So it's right off this point here. And it's inside the point a little bit, though. It's inside where these little real small hollies start growing. And it's got that bed has everything to it. It's got a backstop. It's got overhanging branches with the hollies out of the sun, and wind is going. Wind is coming from that way. And he probably is looking out that way. So, up guys, found a couple spots. Wasn't real thrilled about this area, but I think I could throw some early season stuff at it. Maybe rut and sneak in here really late season and see what we could see. But that's called me today. And I appreciate you tuning in. Be another scouting trip in a couple days. I got some stuff to do tomorrow, so I'm kind of headed for the woods. So, any comments or questions, please leave below. I'll be sure to answer them as soon as I can. Thanks for tuning in, and subscribe and like to the Buck Psych. Thanks again. Buck Psych out.